This game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore. Great moniker to the throwback to the old survival horror games. Hello and welcome to Tormented Souls. This has been my most anticipated game of the year aside from Resident Evil Village, which turned out to be, dare I say, mostly disappointment. Sorry if you liked it. This game is not based around the old school though. The new school. This game is based around the old school. The old school Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and I believe a few others as well. I think Alone in the Dark is one of them. The old school Alone in the Dark, that is, of course. It features fixed camera angles and optional tank controls. I will most likely be using mostly the tank controls because I like tank controls when it comes to fixed camera games. It makes the whole process easier. A demo came out recently. I did play the demo. I I loved it for the most part, although I did have a few small issues with some of the puzzles, but I won't get to that here because, well, that'll be a spoiler for the actual game. Because I'm pretty certain that the demo was straight up just the beginning, like, hour of the game, even though it took me 2 hours to accomplish. But that's neither here nor there. I will, if I haven't said this already, I'll most likely be mostly using the tank controls, which means that, and the tank controls use a D-pad. Here's the thing I like. The only game I've ever played before that lets you switch between traditional controls and tank controls is Resident Evil 1 Remake. But in Remake, there's like, you have to press like start and there's like an option there. This one straight up just has the joystick being the regular controls and the D-pad being the tank controls. So I'm probably going to be using the D-pad to move around for the most part for the first time in like 20 years, which is going to be interesting. My only wish, I hope that for the full game, that they give the option to switch between the two, because like I'd rather use tank controls, but I'd also rather use the joystick, so it's kind of a conundrum. Although if I have to use the D-pad to use the tank controls, I will damn sure do it. This game's environments though are good based on the demo. The soundtrack is also impeccable. But I'll go into more on that when I actually start this thing. The story is simple enough, although I'm pretty sure there'll be twists and turns to go over that I haven't gone over into yet. One thing I like is that, well, the soundtrack especially actually, because this game gets its atmosphere right. I'm not going to go deeply into each one of them, but there are three major keys of audio atmosphere: music, silence, and ambience. Silence means jack if there's nothing but it, like the new school Resident Evil games, for example. Yes, I'm throwing shade at the new school Resident Evil games. This game doesn't really use ambience that I've seen in the demo so far, but this game does use music, as you can see from this main menu. The music is beautiful, by the way, and it does use silence when it needs to. So far, it's not perfect, but the audio atmosphere is on point. An audio atmosphere is very important for a horror game. This whole game is it's pretty good from what I've seen in the demo so far, and I can't wait to go ahead and dig more into it and see what we got going on here. So with that being said, I think it's about time to go ahead and start this game. Is there anything else I can think of? I don't think so. Oh, you know, offhand, but this main menu is actually from the demo. I'm recording this before the game even comes out. So if the main game has a different main menu, then I'll show that too before I actually start. But here we go with this. Let's go ahead and get started. When it comes, so as far as the actual options goes to make sure subtitles and all that are there, I'll go ahead and do that at the official main menu, whether it be this one or not. So I'll go to the options and do that now, and then to the actual game. So the main menu and its music are indeed the same. This is the actual game. And as I do options, I'm also going to do, I guess, sort of an extended intro. General controller sound. So, like I said earlier, you know, this has been my most anticipated game of the year, pretty much. Well, ever since like mid-July, because that's when I found out about it, which is kind of funny. That's all good. Controller, slot A, run, classic controls, tank, modern controls, directional. Speaking of those controls, I will pretty much be using exclusively tank controls, which is going to be weird because it means I'm basically using the directional pads to move, which I haven't done in a very long time, but it is what it is. Now, one complaint right off the bat, though, and this is based on the demo, is that see how L1 does nothing? Well, one thing I didn't voice in the demo that I'm going to voice now, well, I still don't think I did, is that when you can have a map in your inventory, but what you have to do is you have to go to the inventory and then select the map in order to view it. I wish like the L1 would be a perfect way. There should just be a button for the map. Like having the map as your inventory, it's whatever, it's fine. But like you should be able to have a button just to go to it. At least that's what I think. Lantern on off. I don't even think there was a lantern in this game when in the demo. Master, it's fine. No. Run, cancel, reload. Alright, so I pretty much know already the controls. It's a pretty basic game. It's not like it's not like it's ridiculous controls. Another thing. Well, I guess kind of two more things. One thing I did in the demo before I get started here is that I looked up like how to do like half the puzzles. Let me clarify something. I only did that pretty much because I was on a demo. I was streaming it. What I like to do is I like to give puzzles a half hour, 30 minutes. If I can't figure out the puzzle after 30 minutes, then I do look it up even normally. But very rarely does that happen. The only games that really did happen, I think, were like Song of Horror and like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It doesn't happen very often. I only looked them up almost from the beginning in the demo because I streamed that one, and I didn't want to sit. Cause like if I'm doing it normally, you know, if it takes me 29 minutes to figure out a puzzle, that's fine because I can just cut out those 20 minutes of monotony. But with the stream, I can't do that, and I didn't want to sit there and have 30 fucking minutes of stream just of me figuring shit out. That'd be boring as fuck. So instead, I decided to just say fuck it and just look it up right away. I won't be doing that here. Now, if a puzzle takes me longer than 30 minutes and I look it up, I will straight up admit that as I always do. But chances are that won't have to happen. At least I hope it won't. What might have to, there's one case that might have to happen. I hope they change this on the demo because in the demo, so when it comes to fixed camera games, they tend to highlight items that are significant. And they may sound cheap, but it's not a cop-out because it's necessary. Because in fixed camera angle games, a lot of items tend to blend together. So like there can be a puzzle item somewhere and you would never fucking know. At least for the most part. This game didn't, at least the demo didn't have a highlight thing. So like you would never know. So like I actually had to look up where the second piece of the plastic cart was. I hope that doesn't need to happen. Like, if there are puzzles directly connected to that non-highlight thing of items, then I may have to do that straight up, because, you know, that might be get ridiculous. But aside from that, though, I'm aiming to not to do that. One more thing before I actually start this. I don't know how much change the demo is to the game. The demo I only played like a month ago, or something like that. But it's been out for like 6 or 7 months on PC, or something like that. I don't know how much they've changed. Like, here's my point. Here's what I'm trying to get to. The demo covers roughly the first half hour to hour of gameplay, and I've already done everything on it. So the first hour to half hour of this game, if it's the exact same thing, might basically just end up being a speed run. So there's that too. Any whore, I'm gonna get started now. My girl Caroline Walker. Tormented Souls. Published by P-Cube. Fucking flight path. Developed by Dual Effect. Abstract Digital Works. Oh.
A letter for me? I never receive letters.
No one does these days, girl. Speaking, I don't know what year this game takes place in, but no one does anymore. So I don't know. as far as my end goes, that cutscene straight up looked blurry. I don't know why. I don't know if the cutscene's supposed to be like that, but that's not the video. That's the way the cutscene actually was. It was blurry for me. Just so it's clear. I don't know if it's supposed to be or if my game just did something abnormal, but that happened. So, Caroline Walker, John Doe to Caroline from that. The two missing girls. Did you think you'd really just abandon us here? Oh, by the way, too, this game is a lot shorter than I thought it was. This game costed like $20. Um, and apparently the average runtime for this game is between 6 and 8 hours. So it's not a very long game. Like this game is a lot shorter than I originally thought it was supposed to be.
It's been 2 weeks since I received that letter from the Wildburger Hospital. Since then, I haven't been fine. I can't get out of my head the image of those little girls. I can't sleep. And when I am able to fall asleep, it's only to dream horrible nightmares. I need to know what's going on. What's the meaning of all of this? I'm going to the Wildburger Hospital in hopes of finding some answers about this strange photo. I need to know what's going on.
Nice fountain. So far, it seems demo. I looked, I mentioned in the demo, where'd her clothes come from, because she just puts them on out of nowhere. But this time I saw them, they were on this chair. I didn't notice that last time. Right from the get-go, I love this game's atmosphere, dude. I really do. Another thing I want to mention, tank controls, boy. So yeah, I don't remember if I'm going to check back on the demo, because I don't remember if the demo was like that. Hang on. Yep, the girl has no second tie, which I actually mistook because of the way it's looked animated. I mistook that the first time around as her having a red eye, not no eye. But that's just the way it looked to me. So yeah, these cutscenes though, if they look pixelated and or I guess musty, That's just the way these are. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna check the demo because I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I don't know why it is for me. It's just weird. Another thing too about the cutscenes. So a lot of people, apparently, based on the demo, have a problem with Caroline Walker. And when I say that, I mean her herself, like her appearance. They say that the atmosphere, visually speaking, is dark and gloomy, and they say that she's very anime looking, and so it just creates an incongruity. I can honestly see where they're coming with it, but personally, it doesn't bother me. I just thought I'd mention it. William Wildberger's diary. Today is the happiest day of my life. After all the suffering we have endured the past few years, Maria, my beloved wife, has blessed me with two beautiful angels. But there is more. After all this time, she has returned to me. She looked at me like with her eyes wide, as if she had not seen me in years, like she was waking up from a dream. That is not all. Something odd happened when I checked my watch to find the exact time at which the first baby, Emma, was born. As I opened the lid, the glass cracked, and the hands utterly stopped. I do not think this event to have some meaning or another. I am not a superstitious man, but Maria insists that it is a sign. She has started using the hour as her lucky number and uses it for everything. So while I do remember like these, I don't remember the exact nature of this puzzle. So I gotta say that item highlight, maybe it did add highlights, because the demo didn't have highlights like that. Now, one thing that does actually bother me though is this little hand cursor. As unique as it is, all it does is serve to slow things down. Like in Resident Evil, for example, you have an item, you click on it, you press use. This game has you like drag it over. I just find it to be needlessly cumbersome. I get the intent though. 12:35. That took me way shorter than the first time around. That's gonna happen a lot, just so you know, meaning like doing this. That's gonna happen a lot, cause like whenever I get done doing something, my thumb like automatically, instinctively returns to the joystick instead of the D-pad, as it honestly should. You know, I'm gonna reiterate one complaint too. Like, I don't really have a right to complain about this because they did add tank controls. Like, this could have been like Song of Horror, where they said fuck tank controls altogether. But I still wish that they would have allowed me to use the tank controls for the joystick and then use the regular controls for the D-pad. I wish they would have added that, because because like for me, tank controls for me are a necessity. They're indispensable when it comes to fixed camera angle games, because without them, fucking you gotta sit there and readjust your goddamn controls every fucking time the camera turns. But at the same time, I'd rather use the joystick. I don't know, it's just a conundrum for me. Do not let shadows embrace you. Translation. I don't. Okay, this actually isn't worded very well, and I do know what I found out what happens when you. Okay, so this is referring. This doesn't word it very well, because shadows. By shadows, the game just means darkness, but that's not what it implies. At least not to me. To me, it implies some sort of enemy, right? Like I think to most people. And so like when I did the demo, I didn't even know it was referring to the darkness. I thought it was referring to enemies that lurk in shadows or something, or our shadows themselves maybe. But no, they're referring to darkness. And this isn't an ominous enough warning too, because I found out what happens. If you stay in the darkness for too long, it straight up fucking kills you. And again, you know, she says, you know, what does that mean? But here's my issue though. Since the darkness fucking kills you when you stay there for too long, the game should automatically address that. And by the way, this isn't a game with auto-saving. Like, you have to save, like, at designated areas and times. It's like Resident Evil. Although with Resident Evil, it's fine, because ink ribbons are saves, but at the same time, take Code Veronica. Code Veronica has like 100 fucking ink ribbons, so you can save like 100 times. Like, as long as you're not a complete retard with how you save, you'll never run out. But with this game, I don't know. Oh, fucking right. Yeah, I know. Oh. There we go. East Wing Corridor. That took a lot shorter than it did before. You know, I'm pretty sure this is just the demo again, until I get to the Grand Hall. No. Yeah, that's gonna bother me, having to go to the inventory for basically everything, especially the map. That's locked, I believe. It's not locked. Oh, more paintings fell to some last time. Also, I won't be having much of a reaction to a lot of shit right now because I already know everything. Unfortunately. There's that thing. And then we go straight from that shit to this. Does it still not? Yeah, see, okay. So, yeah, right? So, this thing right here is important. It's an item. But, like, how would you know that? Like, it doesn't stick out any more than, like, this filing cabinet. It doesn't stick out any more than this. Like, it bothers, so there's still no highlighting. It bothers me how there's no highlighting of items. Like, this should have a sparkle on it. And this is, in fact, the one I missed last time. I had to look up where the fuck that one was. Because, like, it's in some random room. Like, I was looking, I had one half the heart, not the other half. I was looking in, like, every fucking, like, I was thinking about every conceivable room and I couldn't fucking find it. Yep, that's the save. But I'm not gonna fucking use it now, because I feel like that'd be a waste. Suck my dick. That's locked, right? Yep. East Wing Corridor. One thing I do appreciate is the fact that this game actually has everything being dark. Like, there are a lot of games where, like, they want you to, you know, turn a light on even though everything's already sufficiently bright. But in this game, it's actually not. This fucking place. They changed the location of that map. See, L1 should be a goddamn map button. I'm just saying it. And this is a place you can never go to in the demo. But you will here. Don't even worry that door's locked. You can't do shit with it. Oh. That's new. Do they still have this other shit on the other side of this then? Nope, they removed that. There used to be a hint. I guess they put the whole thing over there. So there has been some changes since the demo, at least. And now this fucking part. By the way, you don't need to worry about any enemies until they show themselves through cutscene. That. Dr. William Wildberger, since the patient's health is extremely delicate and the transfer could worsen their condition, I would advise against transferring them to the new hospital. The patient has cardiac insufficiency and requires an immediate transplant. The patient passed away at 11:34 p.m. due to cardiac arrest. At the time of their death, they were holding on to a metal object. With the rapid onset of rigor mortis, I have been unable to remove it from their hand. Which is a very key item. Very key. In fact, it's the last item for the demo. Yeah, don't worry about him yet. I'm certain that this... I'm certain that'll be important at some point, but it's not yet. That ominous... Like, this is why I love fixed camera angle games. You like that ominous camera angle for that hallway. More games should do this, but they don't have the fucking balls to. Capcom is a perfect example of that. Yeah, that part scared the absolute fuck out of me in the demo.
Trabajamos audinos Arabia.
What the hell is going on here?
My child, you are pale. What happened to you?
And their mouths still don't move when they speak. I figured that'd be changed in the game, but that's alright.
A person in a wheelchair with knives in his hands was chasing me.
Oh, it's you. Don't you remember me? I'm the town priest. We met here in the chapel only a couple of days ago.
What? I'm sorry. I don't remember
Sorry.
you. I certainly don't remember coming here before.
Real quick, I know they're talking, but that's another case. I find the Canadian thing funny. The sorry. Steve did that too in Code Veronica. But on top of Caroline's looks, there's two more things that people have said about her beside the anime look. One is that they don't like her voice actor, you know, the way she speaks, which I don't have a problem with it so far. They just say it's too cheesy, I guess. And the other one is, of course, that people have been saying, you know, oh my god, a hot female protagonist where you see her naked at the very beginning, you know, that kind of shit.
I see. Perhaps I'm mistaken. I'm old and get confused every now and again.
You're not mistaken.
What is going on here, Father? Where is everybody?
The patients and the hospital personnel have been transferred to the new hospital in town. This old mansion has been left pretty much abandoned.
By the way, there's a joke about that, about the fact that they call priests. Damn, I can't remember what it was. There's a joke I was about to say. It has to do with the fact that, you know, the people call priests father, and the fact that you know, calling people daddy. You know what I mean? But I forgot what it was. Damn.
Why are all the lights off? I don't like this.
Anything could be lurking in the dark.
I feel the same. Something evil is happening here. Something wicked that hides in the shadows.
Is there a way to turn on the lights?
The old generator has been playing up. It happens sometimes. Go to the end of the hall and through the door that leads to the generator room. You can restore the power from there.
I see. I'll do that.
Wait. Take this with you. It's not much, but it might be useful. It's dangerous to walk around the mansion unarmed.
Thank you, Father, but what are you going to do without a weapon?
My child, with a Bible in my hand, God protects me.
Yep. So, there's actually an interesting note to that it didn't appear in the demo, but I'm pretty sure it'll appear here at some point. Is that you can only have the lighter or weapon equipped at any given time. And as I said, the darkness kills you. So if you're in a dark area and with other enemies around, it's an amnesia the dark descent kind of effect, because having enemies, like legitimate enemies, being in the dark is almost a legitimate enemy by itself, can fuck you potentially. Now let me go ahead and read this paper. There's a paper that tells you how to fight, though. Let me reread this damn thing. Square. Right. Actually, let me train on that a little bit just to make sure I got it down again. Shit. Works for me. Okay, here's another thing they also need. They need a map button. Wait, the hell? Wait, what's R2? What's R2 used for again? Or R1? To aim. L2's to aim. Okay. So here's what they can do, and I suggest this. I like what they can do. They can have, actually, I don't care if it's L1 or R1, but they can have L1 being a designated map button, and then they can have R1 being, Far Cry has this type of button. They can have R1 being like switch to your last equipped item button, you know what I mean? So like, if I manually switch to the nail gun from this lighter, I wish there was I wish you could just like press R1 and then she automatically brings the lighter back out, or what, you know, the last item back out. I wish there was that button, because then you could seamlessly switch between the lighter and the nail gun with no problem, which as of right now isn't possible. And it honestly boggles my mind. No, don't get me wrong, I'm loving this game so far. I love the demo, but like, it's boggling my mind that the devs didn't think of that. Crowbar. Oh, right. Yeah. That's to get to the generator room. It's not plugged in. Either the devs didn't think of that, or they just thought it would make it harder or something. It's what it is. Either way, there's no, unless this place is different from the demo, there's no enemies in here anyway. Today is one of the happiest days of my life. William came running into the room, searching for something. His eyes traveled around the room, giving me no more than a few seconds of attention. But then he looked at me again, his eyes open wide. William came to me and put a hand on my forehead. He pressed his fingers into my wrist and looked at me for a few seconds, unbelieving. His voice faltered when he spoke. "We are going to have a baby," he said. I felt sick. William took the rest of the day off. He acted like a child, laughing and speaking of the future, holding my hand the whole time. That night, we heard a noise coming from underground. It sounded like metal being struck over and over. We could not find sleep until early morning. Nice. I'm gonna take it that this priest room is like a secondary save room. Alright, see, that's what I'm saying, like just saying use should be enough to do that. There shouldn't be enemies in here. I spent enough time on this one of the demo to actually already know the thing. Oh, that one glows. Why is it that some of them shine but others don't? What? I already know exactly what to do here. Well, not exactly, but I gotta switch the thing to 11. And that's it. It's easy. So 5. That's like 4.5. God damn it. Is there anything that brings it up to only 1? No, that's 2. That brings it down. Oh, 2. No. Excellent. God damn it. Thumb went automatically to joystick. But at least it's only like a half-second measure of this shit rather than like a full-blown problem. That's it. Oh, now shit's actually marked. It wasn't marked in the first time around. Actually, no, let me go through here. Hee hee. Let me not go through there. I feel in danger over there. Oh, fuck. Are this gonna be used at some point? Is there any more nail gun ammo? Because if there is, I would like to use it. That's fair. Alright, time to fight this asshole. No! Nice, asshole. That's right. Eat a dick. Although I could use some more nail gun ammo because that just destroyed most of my thingy. Fuck not running. Shit. Morgue, huh? Now that the power is back on, I have other rooms to explore, but also more enemies to attack me. That looks like a note I can, yep. June 6, 1963. I was terrified of what William would do when we finally saw my naked skin. But my fears were unfounded. He accepted me, even with the scars on my back left by my father's whip. William asked me why he did it, of course. I explained that the pain was to redeem my sins. William will never look at my father in the same way again. I wouldn't either. The fuck kind of bullshit is that? What scares me is that I don't have that much ammo left in this nail gun. switched off. How much ammo do I have now? 9. I only got 4 from that. That note is just about a thing you gotta pull. I'm not even gonna bother reading it.